Hello teachers, let's spark curiosity, creativity and critical thinking through project-based learning. Therefore, in short, it is termed as real-world learning through real-world skills. Today, we are going on an exciting learning journey through maps, signs and symbols. Just like sailors finding treasure in the ocean. All our activities today are based on the chapter The Lighthouse. So let's get up our young learners to become explorers. So the concept that we are going to learn through this chapter is directions and map reading. So every PBL has certain components like mentioned, concepts covered. Then we have learning objectives where our learners will be able to understand meaning of symbols, read and comprehend maps, and also to create a map. And the learning outcomes would be the learner would read to seek information from notice boards, internet or charts and maps, etc. Before we go on to activity 1, we always have a think question. This would enable our learners into the thinking process. So the question for this PBL is, how do I find my way when I'm lost in a new place? These are the possible answers that might pop up in the minds of our young learners. I look for signboards or landmarks. I go back to the place where I last saw someone I know. I follow the main road or a crowd. And many more such answers might pop up in the minds of our learners. Our activity 1, let's start with our first activity. The teacher can read out the directions saying, I want you to walk safely on the footpath around the school or your home. Look closely at the signs or symbols you see around you, like a stop sign or a school sign. Then write or draw the symbol and next to it write what it means. For example, you may see a sign that means stop or school. Okay? 2 examples have already been given, forward and left. Let's find more symbols and understand them. Moving on to activity 2. So before that, in the first activity, our students will be able to learn to observe and decode symbols in real life. That is what PBLs are all about, isn't it? Okay. Now imagine you're on a ship. Okay? And our learners have a treasure map in hand. Their goal is to read the symbols and find the treasure. So our learners will see pictures like a flag, a compass, a ship and a treasure box. They have to match each symbol with its correct meaning. For example, the compass helps us know directions like north, south, east and west. So let them decode the map together by matching the symbol with its correct meaning in the table. The outcome of this particular activity, the learners will understand how maps work and read symbols meaningfully. Now, before we move on to activity 3, there is a small note about the compass. A compass is a device used in navigation. So there are letters that indicate the cardinal directions. The compass has a needle which always points to the magnetic north, and it has small bearings that tells the degrees from the north to south. This is about the compass. So let's start with activity 3. Find your way. It's a maze. So let's play a fun maze game now. Imagine you're stuck inside the box and need to find your way out. But be careful, you cannot touch the black lines. The thick black lines. Okay. So our learners can use a pencil to draw a line through the white space from one arrow to the other. This will help them learn about following paths and directions carefully. So if you see in the image over here, you can see a person. He is avoiding the thick black lines, and he's trying to find his path through the white space given. Now this kind of a puzzle is called a maze. Moving on to activity 4. This map or that map. Next we will look at 2 different maps. Okay, so our learner's job is to choose the best one that will help them find treasure. Okay, so our learners can imagine they are on a ship, pirate. Okay, they are a pirate on a ship. They are searching for hidden treasure. Wow. So they will look at the maps given. They will pick the best map to find the treasure. Think and answer the following questions. Is the map clear? The map that they have chosen? Does it have good symbols? Is the path easy to follow? Explain why you choose that map. Now, by doing this activity, our learners will develop decision making and comparison skills. Okay? It's a fun activity. Moving on to activity 5, or the creative space. Now it's time to get a little creative. Okay? So our learners have to think of a place they love to visit. It can be a park, a restaurant, or a relative's house. They need to draw a route map showing how to get there. They can use the symbols that they have learned, add directions and pictures. Once they are finished, they will describe it to the class. So the output of this creative space would look like this, where our learners are going to represent it in form of pictures and directions, and the outcome of this particular creative space is our learners will achieve language and communication skills. They will build upon their creativity and expression. They will also develop their skills relating them to real life connections. The outcome for this particular creative space, they will apply map reading skills creatively. As I told, creativity and expression is one of the outcome, and they will present confidently, which leads to language and communication skills. Next, they have a self-assessment question. Yes. So finally, they will answer a few fun questions based on all the activities and a short story about Shilpa and her treasure map. This will help them check how well they have understood maps and symbols. Okay. So as they are choosing their right answers for the 10 self-assessment questions, they will also come across an OMR sheet where they have to shade using a pencil or a blue or black ballpoint pen to shade the circles. Okay. And for complete solutions to all self-assessment questions provided at the end of each PBL, please refer to Teachopia, and the path is given below. Let's begin our journey with our young learners, and thank you.